Yes, that's right. I'm back, baby. But we are back to talk Below Deck Med Season 9, Episode 14. Welcome back, Peanut Gallery, or I should say, welcome to me, because I am your captain, Sasha Joseph, joined by our co captain, honestly, the leader of this podcast, the one that kept us afloat, the one that steered the ship, the one that killed it, the one that has brought all the ridiculously amazing guests without me. But it's okay. Chappell is here. We're back.
Hey, Sasha, I'm so happy that you're back, man. I miss you so much.
Oh my
Yeah, you're
God.
right. I've been trying to keep the boat on track. It's been wild. We've taken some ups, some downs. We've had some crazy guests. We've seen some things. But it's so good to have you back. I know you've been on your world tour. You're very tan. So I definitely know that everybody's been dying to hear what show you were in sequester for.
No show, unfortunately. You guys were having too much fun. I didn't like it. I did go on a boat. Okay, I did in
Yes.
Switzerland. I said Below Deck crew is having too much fun. So I posted a little picture on Twitter of my boat cruise as well in Lake Lucerne. But no, I was just on vacation. That's it.
Hey, love that for you. You deserved a vacation, you know?
Listen, you killed it. First of all, everyone, 5 stars for Chappelle. All right. He
Oh,
has killed it. Poor guy didn't even watch the show before I asked him to cover it with me. And here he is, 3 weeks, leading it all, killing it.
hey, it was fun, but like you said, we had some crazy guests to come in and talk to us too. I mean, obviously, we've had Sharon on before, we've had Jason on before. But Sasha, what did you think about effing Bowie James?
Like, what the hell? When I tell y'all that I see the Slack message and it's like, oh, I'm on with Bowie Jane, it doesn't register in my brain that Chappelle is talking to Bowie Jane without me. Like, I don't know why I didn't register that. And then all of a sudden I see them go live and I was like, but what is the reason?
Yes, I didn't
It
want to
was
tell you.
so good.
I wanted it to be a surprise. I was like, "Oh, Sasha's never gonna believe this," but we get those messages in the Slack. So I said, "Okay, so she's obviously gonna text me in a few days and be like, what's happening?" But you never did. So I said, "Wait, maybe she doesn't know. This is actually gonna be kind of cool." And so, yes, thank you, effing Bowie Jane, for coming on. She was so
Thank
much fun to
you,
talk to.
seriously.
Sharon, of course, loved coming on, and again, Jason, the MVP, our third stew here on the
Always.
podcast.
Yes, correct.
Always coming through in the clutch. It was so much fun, but I'm so happy to have you back.
Yeah, same. Listen, thank you to all our guests. Y'all killed it. Peanut Galley, you killed it. It's just everyone was amazing. But listen, we're back. Okay, we're back. No new stews or crew members here. Okay, you're not gonna fire me.
No, no, you shouldn't be
Nor am I
threatened
gonna
either.
find another host. That's what it was.
Yeah. That's pretty. I mean, you shouldn't be threatened anyway. We'll see in this episode that sometimes just the presence of someone else can make you feel like maybe your spot in the hierarchy is being threatened, even though there's 2 charters left and you've been doing awful all season. But you have nothing to worry about, Sasha.
Listen, that one review that comes back every year. Yeah, I bet you that person was living their best life.
They missed you and your voice, Sasha.
Period. Okay, they love my voice so much. But anyway, hello everyone. It's all good. Let's get into it, okay? And I will say, maybe I should share what's been going on this show. I leave and everything gets fun? Question mark.
Yeah,
What the hell?
yeah. It's been a wild ride since you've been gone, but yeah, I mean, leading up to what we get now with our new stew, our floater stew, uh,
Yes.
floaters grab a life vest because I think we're in for a fun time in these next couple charters. But yeah, we've been through a lot since you've been gone. We've had the Bree and Ellie of it all. They've turned on Joe, and now they're teaming up against him. Joe's on the ropes, but now Joe has a new friend, despite her being Scottish. It seems like he's not anti our new Stu Carey here. So yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. And then Jono almost kills somebody, but
Yeah.
gets to keep his job just because Norma can't find someone else. And then you finally get crazy charter guests, but only
Yeah.
for one and a half day.
Mhm.
Boo.
Yeah, they were a little rude. They weren't a little rude, but they paid big money, and so
Mhm.
you're gonna be rude, you got to make them pockets reflect your attitude on the boat. And so I, even with them, I thought that was pretty good. It was a good run, but you're back now, and I have to ask, what do you think now? You've caught up, and
Mhm.
you've been gone for a minute, but now we have a different dynamic. How do you think things are going now that Carrie's on the boat?
I like it. Okay, I feel like we needed some new blood to shake things up, right? Like Brie and Ellie are kind of being like, okay, let's like make a truce. Joe is almost pulling back and he's like, it's all good. I'm not into it. So I wonder if production was like, fix the leak. It's
Yeah.
fine. Bring some. We can't do this. It's getting boring.
Yeah. I think fix the leak is definitely what happened. I think that somebody made the phone call and said, all right, bring in a fourth person. Let's spice this up. Because we're probably only going to talk about them one time in this
Mhm.
episode, but Ian is nowhere to be found. And so it's almost like they were down two people because I don't even think he had a line in this entire episode.
He gets yelled at. That's it for working slow as hell. So it's almost like they're talking about him and around him, but not with
Mhm. Yeah. He just exists. And so it was like with down one stew and down another deckhand.
a
It's like
bosun, the
yeah, a
main.
bosun. Yeah, he's supposed to be having the most of our screen time as far as the exterior goes, and he's doing nothing.
Mhm.
So they had to fix the leak. You also missed the boat almost sink. That was kind of cool.
That was why I was like, "Is it actually gonna sink?" No, it's just a little
No,
leak.
that's a little link. But yeah, they had to replace this void that is the space that Ian is taking up, but also this fourth stew spot. And so
Mhm.
now we have the arrival of the new hotness. It's Carrie. She's here.
Yes, we have a Scottish lassie. Carrie's here, and I love that she's immediately like, and I'm sorry for my accent. Own it. What the hell?
Right. Well, I think she says she has the worst Scottish accent, and I don't know. Sasha, can you like when in India, can you tell like different accent, like versions of the Indian accent?
Yes.
Like is it regional? Like how does
Yeah.
that work?
Yeah, I can definitely tell, like, someone from the South versus the North, and then in North, like, I can't differentiate in the South because I'm not from the South, of India, but, yeah, in the North, I can tell, like, if someone's Punjabi, Gujarati,
Mhm.
Marathi, which is the language I speak, so, yeah, I can you can definitely tell the way they speak Hindi, like, where
Mhm.
they're from. Like, I was in Switzerland, and when I tell you it's India, like, it's literally India, and we just kept asking random Indians on the street, like, "Where do we go to eat?" And each person with their different accent. So we'd be like, "Oh, we should have asked that person where to eat Punjabi food because 'cause they're literally speaking to us in Punjabi." So
Yeah.
it's very telling where someone's from.
I'm even like that with the black folks here in the United States.
Fair.
Because I'm from the South and I'm from Texas, and it gets like for the podcast, I clean it up. But you've heard me speak freely sometimes. It gets very southern sometimes, and I have to like I made a conscious effort a long time ago to not talk like that all the time. So I get it, but there's also places where I've gone where the black folk sounds like it just when they start talking, I be like, man, what is this? Shout out to my friends in Baltimore. What the hell do y'all be saying?
That's what I was gonna say. The Ice Spice Cleo drama, I was like, "This is such a New York, like,
Yeah,
accent." Like, my god.
yeah, yeah. So everybody be sounding different, but I guess she felt like hers is the worst. Now, to me, I have the best Southern accent. I think there are other Southern accents out there, but I think mine is the go-to.
It's a
Now,
good yeah, yours is
yeah,
like the, like, baseline, I
yeah,
feel.
it's polished. It is, but again,
Mhm.
if I let my guard down, it can get a little rough. And so, yeah, I understood what she was saying.
Mhm.
But I like when her and Joe kind of both like, you have an awful accent. No, you have an awful accent. I said, okay, I like this.
The
Uh,
Spider-Man meme.
Yeah, exactly. And I was actually kind of surprised at how much chemistry they had off the bat because he didn't seem like he was into it.
Joe has chemistry with anything and anyone. It
Yeah.
does not matter to Joe. Joe just wants a warm body at this
Hmm.
point.
Yeah. He might have got lucky because Carrie says she's a professional flirt. This is what she does. And so I'm like, hey, I have been called
You
that
should
before.
know. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm about to say I've been labeled that. That is true. I've never labeled myself that, but people have definitely told me that. And so I
He is, in case
understand.
anyone was wondering.
Yeah, it's like I understand where she's coming from. I just haven't self-identified as that yet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're not in your, like, self-actualization piece of it,
Right.
but we're here to tell
Delusional king
you,
today.
yes,
Yeah.
that he thinks that he's, like, quiet and introverted,
Yeah. I
and that's
really
what he
do.
tells us, and that's the joke.
It's not a joke in my mind. In my life, I am quiet and introverted
I know you
because
lie.
if I really let my extroverted wall down, y'all wouldn't be able to handle me, you know? So I'm holding back a lot, I guess it's from
Impossible.
my point of view.
That's so funny because in other people's mind, they think Chappelle is now their best friend, and mind you, he thinks that he's introvert.
Yeah, I just thought we was talking. I didn't realize that, and then sometimes, like,
That
again,
you're
sometimes
married. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and that's okay. Again,
Yeah.
I flirt with anybody. I don't care.
No, we know.
Send them.
Oh, yes, but listen, the chat is loving Carrie. Cece says loves Carrie.
Yes.
And listen, Big T said Carrie clocked Ellie on her BS right away.
Yeah.
I
What
was surprised.
Ellie is just staring daggers at Carrie the whole time. She's bugging Aesha. I'm like, what's happening? What's going on? Is it just she's just threatening us career wise? I guess is that the move?
I think that's it. I don't think there's anything else to say because the problem with Ellie and Bree in some ways, but really Ellie, is that they don't know how to stand up. You know what I mean? The biggest thing you can do, which Ellie kind of did when Joe turned her down on the date, right? She was like, "Okay, I don't care.
Mhm.
We don't need to talk. I don't even need to act like you exist." And
Yeah.
which was all good. But then all of a sudden, bam, desperation has set in everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, you've been gone for the fallout of the Ellie and Bree situation, and Bree and of course Joe in the washroom, their moment, and kind of I guess the coming back from that. So it does feel like Ellie has finally really let the Joe thing go through this episode.
Mhm.
I'm not quite sure that Bree has, but Ellie for sure seems like she's off of it. And so I'm happy for her in that light. But Ellie as a professional, Stu, she's also left a lot to the imagination this season, as far as I'm
Yeah.
concerned. I mean, it's like, okay, we got past the personal stuff, but when it comes to actually like the time to do her job, she's just not as good as she thinks she is.
Mhm. I I don't understand how just like you, Delulu. No, I'm just kidding. But you're good at your job. There's a difference. But she is like I almost said something mean. She's so lost
Yeah,
can understand like every time you tell her, "Hey, you did X, Y, and Z wrong," or "Hey, there's a dirty dish rag here. You should move it here." And Carrie and her have a little moment, right? Where Carrie's like, "Why don't you move the things here? And this is how you should restock." Mind you, this new girl is a mixologist.
yeah,
Someone that literally does this for a living. And Ellie goes on mansplaining. No, this fridge doesn't work. This is the problem. That's the problem. Go if you don't shut the hell up and just
yeah,
listen.
yeah. By the end of this episode, Ellie just doesn't have a lot of great episodes this season. This is kind of bad from my point of view because her going to Aisha and saying, "Hey, so what's the deal with this new girl?" Like it feels like I'm being pushed out, and I just want to make sure that we know who's seconds do. Like I feel like I'm the third wheel, and I mean it's cool if you want to train her, but let's not get carried away. I'm number two here, and I was just like, oh, this is bad. This is bad. Aisha handled this a lot better than I probably would have.
Yes. Because at first, Aisha was like, "Oh, yeah," and, like, "No, she's a floater, don't worry, she's a floater, she's this," and then she goes, "But it's my decision, whatever I wanna do," and that shut Ellie down. You could tell she's gonna give, like, a crazy confessional next week, and she's gonna be like, "I don't know why, she just has it out for me, she doesn't like me." I think
Mhm.
that we're gonna get something like that.
I hated this. I hated this so much because Aisha shouldn't have to defend why she wants Carrie to help you. You have been messing up all season. Like it's not like Bree is the only problem, and I got a lot of smoke for Bree in this episode too. But for Ellie, you have not been a perfect stew, so you should be thankful for all the help.
Mhm.
Thundercats in the chat is saying Aisha did good
Yeah.
there. there. And I think she needed to. I think she needed to put her foot down and say, hey, I understand about your concerns, but also it's not, I don't care if I am demoting you. If you getting demoted, you're getting
Exactly.
demoted, you know?
Do a better job. Stop being
Yeah.
like, I didn't do cabins. I didn't have time. I didn't do X, Y, what, you name it, right? Like, I didn't do this because I didn't have time. I didn't do this because
She
I didn't
can't
have time.
she can't find the stuff behind the bar. She can't make the
She
drinks
is such a bad
correctly.
drink maker. I'm sorry. I've just never met someone that's that slow.
Well, it's like to be that bad at your job, like not to say she's abysmal, but she's not great. And to
Right.
also be so concerned with the status of her job. It's like I need to
Mhm.
be second, but I don't need to do second stew work. I
Yeah.
need to be able to like perform like a third stew, but be treated like I'm in charge, like I'm someone's supervisor. It was very important to her that she knew where she stood when it came to Bree. And now that Carrie's here, I think she's in kind of living in no man's land because she doesn't know, like, okay, does Carrie outrank me? Do I outrank her? I think it's really tough for her because that's important to her. I just feel like you said, if you do better work, you wouldn't have to worry about this kind of stuff.
And this is the question now, actually. Do you think she knows, right? That at least she always had Brie to kind of shit on a little bit, but now there's no room to hide almost.
Yeah, yeah. I think that even when you see that Carrie can't leave the bar, she's supposed to be a
Mhm.
floater. We barely see Carrie interact with Bree. Bree's down there
Exactly.
struggling, fighting for her life, and this floater is still helping Ellie. So it's like, Ellie, if you were that good, the floater wouldn't have much to do over here, But she's obviously like really handling the drink situation in a way that Ellie could not
Yep.
do it. I don't know what Ellie's doing this entire time. I know there's moments where we see Carrie following her around, but we saw a lot of Carrie at the bar. During that time, I'm guessing Ellie's supposed to go handle the cabins or something of that nature, but it doesn't feel like Carrie is there to help just Bree. It definitely shows that there's a lot of work to be done on the Ellie side of the house too. And so, yeah, I
Which
think it's
are
going to
we
start to stand
surprised?
out.
But yeah.
No, not at all, right? It's like, that's why I'm
Mhm.
kind of confused about Ellie. Like, how are you surprised by this? You haven't been doing good work, and you have to know that, right? We've seen Aisha talk to her about it.
And your boss has said it multiple times that
Yeah.
she has to clean up after all of you all the time.
Yeah. What did you think about Ellie going to Aisha and being like, so any tips you could give me about, being a chief stew so that when I leave here, I can go get like, just go dive into the deep end and get my feet wet, on some chief stew on a smaller boat. Anything you could give me some tips?
Do your job.
Yeah. And that's what Aisha said. Do your
Yep.
job. Do your job. Literally do what we're paying you to do. And I promise you, you'll be a better chief stew if you can figure out how to do drinks, cabins, and laundry. Like, I think if you could get those three things down, I think that's at least half the battle.
Exactly. And I think the problem here is that she thinks she's better than she is.
Mm,
And that's an issue for Brie as well. I'll be honest because they both deserve their wax today.
yeah.
But she thinks she's better, and that's why she doesn't give herself enough time to
Mm,
almost improve or be like, oh
yeah.
yeah, this is the way I can do better for drink service. This is where I can do better when it comes to cabins, because she left her phone in the cabin.
Yeah. The phone she shouldn't have been on in the first place. It's
Exactly.
we've all worked jobs where they say don't be on your phone. Like whether it's customer service, whatever. Like
Mhm.
we don't want to see your phone out, blah blah blah. This is
Yeah.
no different. So the fact that you left your phone somewhere, it means you were on it, and it would be different if the boat was run, in a seamless fashion where everything's working,
Mhm.
everybody's firing on all cylinders, getting everything done. There's no drama with the laundry, no drama with the drinks or the food. But no, there's things that can be done here, and you've been on the phone. So it's like you kind of half-assing a little bit, and you're not doing good work. So I'm just shocked to see that, like, she sees all of that, and it's still like, I think it's time for me to be chief. I think it's ready. I'm ready to move up. I'm gonna need that recommendation letter, Aisha.
And you're getting nothing.
Yeah, I
You
don't think
probably
Aisha's
shouldn't
gonna.
even tell everyone that you did this, because
Yeah.
I feel like if folks saw this, it's gonna be a big issue for her.
A little embarrassing. Yeah, if you wanna
Yeah.
go work on another boat, this is not going to help. I think that this was like, if she has real ambition to be a chief stew,
Mhm.
maybe for Bravo because they like the TV
Sure,
characters,
sure.
but if you're trying to go get on another boat, I just be happy that this doesn't air immediately after that charter season, right? Like she's probably gone and got some more under her belt since then, because it's been what, a year since they filmed this.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
she's had time to get these jobs in before they actually saw what happened on TV. Because this,
fair,
I definitely
fair.
think this be a detriment more than some help for her as far as getting more
God.
jobs.
Yeah, and I just feel like like HR personality wise, also it's terrible. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, and I think here Thundercat says it best too. Like Bree is bad, but she thinks she's okay. Ellie's okay, and she thinks she's amazing, and she's too material.
Yeah,
That's the problem, and that's where I think Carrie actually is second stew material, but
yeah.
she's not able, like, Aesha's not able to give Carrie all that Carrie maybe should do because of Ellie more than Bree, hell.
Here's my question: Bree thinking she's okay and Ellie thinking that she's amazing, even though neither one of them are meeting those standards. Is this Aisha's fault? Because I know Aisha can't train them effectively because she's
Right.
been down once too. She hasn't had the time. But why aren't they aware of how bad they are at their jobs? Like, are they just that delusional, or is Aisha not doing a good job of being like, no, you're bad, and you need to improve, like I feel like there's a lot of the compliment sandwich type thing going on, like here's a good thing you're good at, here's a bad thing, here's another good thing, so they're starting to get their judgment clouded by all the good stuff when no one has like grabbed them by their shoulders, like let me take you by the hand, you're bad, you're awful at this, you're not good, stop saying you're good.
Yes.
Like I feel like there's I know that could be detrimental, but at the same
Mhm.
time it does feel like a little reality check wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, I think she has done it a little bit with Bree from what we've seen, right? She said, "Oh, if you keep doing this, like this is you're gonna get fired, or I
Yeah.
have to let you go." I think she said something like that. But I think for Ellie, she's kind of just been complaining around her. And I think in Ellie's mind, it's either one, Aisha doesn't like me. That's why she's complaining. Two, she doesn't see all the hard work I do. And that's why she's complaining. And three, it's like, okay, I didn't get it done because I got X, I didn't get A, B, and C done because I got X, Y, and Z done, which is just
Mhm.
untrue because you should get place setting done and cabins done before anything else. Like priorities are all wrong. And I think there is a little bit maybe the setup wasn't good, right? Like maybe Aisha didn't
Mhm.
set them up well, to say like, "Hey, here's what you need to do. Here's the order of importance." Like
Mhm.
way at the start of the whole season. I think that's the only thing I'd say. I wish Aisha could have done better.
Yeah, the reason I asked is because in this episode, even there's two charters left,
Yeah.
and Bree's still effing up on the laundry. And so when she comes to Bree, she's very direct with her, like, "Hey,
Mhm.
this is wrong. This is not
Yeah.
correct, and it's not acceptable." But she's like, "But I don't want to come down too hard on her because we can't replace her at this point. There's no time, and
Mhm.
we only got two more charters. We just got to survive these next two charters. And
Yeah.
if I'm too hard on her, she will crumble, and that's going to make things harder. Like I wonder if she's been coddling them a little too much instead of just giving
Yeah.
them real."
Yeah, I think so. And Thundercats again says it very succinctly: real-time feedback, organize the laundry, put Bree on service. This is what I've been saying. Why haven't we switched them?
I don't think Bree knows service. Like I don't think she has the ability. That's because I came to that conclusion weeks ago. Because the very obvious thing would be like, well, if one is good at this thing and the other is good
Right.
at this other thing, just switch them. But I have to believe that she has less faith
I
in
don't think
Bree.
you can teach. Oh, but I
Ellie
guess
can't even do service.
yeah, and I guess it's
It's
guest facing. So it's
mm,
you mess up. Your mess up is heightened way more than
right.
maybe laundry.
We can hide laundry mistakes from people. I mean, we see that the deckhands and are literally hiding these mistakes to protect Bree. Bree goes out there and can't make a cocktail. Aisha's gonna hear about it. Bree
Oh,
goes
that's
out there
fair.
and,
That's fair.
and, and doesn't do the place setting right. Remember, Aisha was getting feedback about fork placement and knife placement, Sasha.
Mhm.
And she was right.
It's
So
a butter
imagine,
knife. Shut up.
right. So imagine if that's Bree. Bree don't. I feel like Bree doesn't have the capacity yet. I feel like that's something that she hasn't learned
Yeah,
yet,
that's
and
fair.
that's why.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think that's why we haven't seen her try Thundercats. Because I just don't think that Aisha has had time to teach her. And I feel like, honestly, I feel like if you are having a really hard time teaching somebody laundry, you probably don't have a lot of faith in them learning something else. So maybe that's just the way I've been reading it all season, because I've been
Yeah.
wondering
No,
why.
I think you're fair. In
Yeah.
my mind, I think it's just something maybe you can teach versus, but then again, laundry should be something you should be able to teach.
Right.
I
And
see in a little group chat.
well, I like this because
Yeah.
I'm an educator, right? Like this is what
Yes.
that's where I come from. That's the world. And so I'm always like, how do we fix this, right? Like, what do we do? How can I meet you halfway to learn this thing
Mhm.
that obviously is escaping you? And for a while, it just felt like Bree's just not tapped in. Like her mind's all over the place. She's running
Yeah.
behind Joe. She's beefing with Ellie, and so she's kind of frazzled and she's in over her head. This is a lot of work. But in this episode, Cap Sandy just has to go there and say, "What can we do to make this work for you? What do you need?" And Bree says colors. And I start to think, does Bree maybe have like a learning disability or something like that? Maybe
Right, right.
like dyslexia, maybe, or maybe it's just like, just something like
Mhm.
cognitive that's like, okay, colors would have been better, because the mistakes she's making, you put a shirt that says Joe in Ian's closet.
Ian,
Why?
and mind you, Ian, genius, didn't even notice.
Right. But you did. Why did you do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, is it like
Yeah.
why did you see Joe and think Ian? So it's kind of like, okay, there's obviously a disconnect here. I thought the issue was she was losing the laundry, right?
Yeah,
Like she couldn't
same,
figure out what
same.
but,
I also thought that.
yeah, but she's actively reading tags and just putting them wherever she wants. I'm like, all right, boom. Now we have some signs here of maybe we need to take a different look at this. And she says she's been asking about the colored beads, kind of like in her little group chat that she's in. And Cap says, yeah, we can get you some colors if that's all we need. Sasha, if it turns out that these colored beads are about to make the difference, I'm gonna fall out.
No, I actually okay, am I wrong that, Big T says bring in the color beads? I actually believe that it shouldn't work. Am I wrong for that?
Well, that's the thing. I'm like, if that works, I'm like, bro, we could have been did this, because there are definitely
That's what I'm
techniques. Yeah,
saying.
there are definitely techniques that people use, like when it comes to like reading and stuff like that, to really help them. Colors. I know for people with dyslexia, sometimes it's good to just isolate certain
Yep.
words and lines. And so I'm thinking, Bree, if this is all you need, bro, we could have been did this. I mean, like I understand like being embarrassed to ask for help,
Sure.
but you could have
But
been
she doesn't
hired.
come off as someone that would be embarrassed to ask
Right.
for help.
Exactly. That's why I'm like, it better not be the beads. Like, to me, I feel like almost like you playing. Like, has it been the beads this whole time? Like, you could just use colors, because we've been coming up with systems. We've had the book. We've had people come
That's
in
what
and
I'm saying. Check
organize it.
in, check out, like blah blah blah. But again, you're right that she's not processing information in the way that maybe is expected of someone that's able to do laundry and stew work. So maybe
Yeah.
it is color that she just needs a basic, like Joe is red for the red flag that he is. But
Yeah.
I just don't understand. I feel like it's too basic. Am I crazy?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I mean, it could be the one thing that she needs, but I'm with you. If it's a matter of match the name with the place it goes. If I
Yeah.
see Joe, I know to put this in Joe's closet. Like that seems very basic. So I don't really know the big
Like, for me, I'm making
disconnect.
stacks, right? Of like,
Right.
you can write down on a notepad. Oh, you have a book, actually. You rip the pages, right? Oh, Nathan and Joe's
Label the
cabin.
stacks.
Yeah, just like
Yeah.
cabin 1, cabin 2, cabin 3, whatever. And
It
then just
it
start putting the stuff there.
it might be a reading thing. Thundercats does bring up in the chat that
Mhm.
there are alternative systems that Aisha didn't try, which is a
Yeah,
problem.
that's
I
fair.
just
I agree with that.
But I also think Aisha just didn't have time. I think
Yeah.
in this episode for sure, with the 4 stews, we saw her able to just move around. People were taking breaks. It was
Mhm.
very smooth on the inside.
Yeah.
And Aisha really didn't even have time to do this conversation. Cap Sandy was the one who went out of her way to have that conversation with Aisha. So I feel like there are things that you could try, but if Bree doesn't speak up, she's sitting around like, I don't know, I wasn't going to ask about it. Bree also has to advocate for herself at some point.
Yes.
Like you got to say, I'm gonna lose my job if I don't get the beads, or
Just
if I don't
stand
get
up,
something
do
else.
something. And the thing is,
Yeah,
it looks like, here's why I'm not 100% sure about the beads. And again, I just if it's that simple and it's the last charter that anyway,
that
the
is. Oof.
thing is, she didn't come up with that, right? She didn't realize, hey, I need colors, even though that's
Yeah,
what she said to Captain Sandy. She said,
yeah,
I need colors. She tells us that there's a group chat, right, for stews, and they gave the ideas of the
yeah.
colored beads. So will that work for her? Does she know that that is an issue? I
Yeah,
don't
we
know.
don't
I'm just
know. Yeah, we don't know. You're right, because that could just be something that she's gonna try and see if it works.
yes.
Because I guess she's just never done this before. Like, we know she's green, but damn, like she's still trying to figure out what works and what doesn't work. She's obviously had to turn to like a Facebook group or something.
Yep.
So I'm happy that she's willing to try other things. I love when people are able to kind of break that barrier that's stopping them
Yes.
from
Yes.
learning what should be, something that's very simple. But yeah, again, she's relatively young, and people in the chat are guessing. Big T saying maybe like 20s. I think,
Yeah.
Cece was saying around the same thing, like, how old is she? Maybe she's just very young and she's new, but she has to learn to advocate for herself because she could have got fired weeks ago.
If
And
they had, I bet you if they had like other options, even though Captain Sandy says, right, like, oh, I keep green stews, we have seen them and we get the flashback to it. Yes, it's all true that Captain Sandy does give options, but why? Why hurt your chief stew like this? I'm confused.
yeah, she's trying to let them learn, but again, they got to meet each other halfway, right? Like Aesha has to go and ask these questions, right? Because if you could tell Bree's not going anywhere, you have
Yep.
to now. Bree is now your problem. And it's like it's not your
Yeah,
fault, but it's your problem.
yep.
You got to make the best of it, and so you got to do whatever it takes to make Bree a functional part of the team. And also, Bree, you can't just sit around and get fired from everything. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly. And Bree's, I think, 24 years old. So
yeah, yeah.
good grief.
It's hard. It's hard if
Yeah.
you have like a deficit in something or a skill set like where you lack where it's hard to like be an advocate for yourself sometimes because it's embarrassing. It is. You can be something like, dang, you look around and you see everybody else is not dealing with this.
Yep.
So you don't really know how to say I am because you don't want people to look at you different and think you're
Sure,
incompetent.
sure.
But again, people are going to look at you different and think you're incompetent by your incompetence, by your performance. So you might as well speak up for yourself. It cannot hurt. Like
No.
it can literally only help you.
And the fact that all these folks are literally sitting here, and being like covering for you, like the fact that Joe is like, I'm just gonna sit with musty shirts, and Gail eventually also says, well, I don't have any dry clothes, so I
Yeah.
cannot do this task that you ask of me.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah, this is tough. It was a tough episode for Bree, but I'm hoping the beads come through on next episode and it's just night and day. But at the same time, I'm like, Bree, come on now. Like this is a learning opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Once you
Yes.
realize that you need certain things, I got ADHD. I know me. My phone, I got to turn it off sometime because I will just be distracted by it. I had to delete the
Mhm.
Twitter app today because the Survivor cast dropped, and whew, I was never gonna be able to get this
We're
podcast
forging
recorded.
our path, guys.
Right, but like forging was taking a lot out the kid. Okay, my
Correct.
energy was all over the place, but I know that about me, and so you have
Mhm.
to go and you have to go and take the necessary steps for you to be functional. And I think that if it comes down to these colors and these beads, we might be able to see Bree in the future as a functional chef, or a stew. But I just don't think that like it's so late in the season. Like I'd be shocked if it worked, but also I'd be very pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, yeah, agreed. And Thundercats is, I think, fair to say, like, oh, my educator leader heart feels bad for Bree and for Asia doesn't know yet how to handle these kinds of
Yeah,
challenges. I think that's fair, and I think it if we are, we're not diagnosing Bree at all, but if there is, some kind of a disconnect when it comes to her cognitive, whatever, I think that it's easier when you understand it and deal with it as opposed to kinda hiding. I think it's
yeah.
hard. It's harder.
And Aisha wouldn't know what to look for if she's never dealt with that before, right? So now this is a learning opportunity for her too. Because next time there's a stew who can't quite get it, I'm expecting Aisha to think outside the box a little bit and say, okay, what is it that you need to do this job correctly, or is it just
Mhm.
something that you lied on your resume and you shouldn't be here in the first place? In which case we can let you go. But I think two stews before the charter season over, this is unacceptable in all areas. You know what I'm saying? Like you made it through the season at this point, and now you're having your aha moment. Okay.
Agreed. Very much agree. But we'll see what that happens.
Yeah.
Now, will the color work or not? The thing is, I don't think it matters. It's the last
Yeah.
charter. Just don't lose
Yeah.
anything at
Yeah.
this point.
Don't lose nothing. Just don't lose anything. Good luck. I don't know. I don't know how
Captain
Joe's
Sandy
stuff
is
ends
at
up in
her
Ian's closet.
wit's end. You could just
She's
tell
done
that
with
she's
it.
like, "Why did you move my clothes in there?"
She literally said, "You effing up," and I was like, "Dang!" Like, to just drop an f-bomb like that, like Captain Sandy, like professionalism out the window. I just have to tell you, like, this is not
Mhm.
good. If we could fire you, we would have, but we cannot. Bree and Jono are roommates for a reason.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. That's the fire room. Ian,
Uh-huh.
get in there.
Ian has figured out if I just don't say anything, people will
He
leave me
just needs to,
alone.
well, that's the problem. Let's talk about the deck crew because I I just don't understand. The new charter guests are on board. Everyone has a drink in their hand, right? Like everyone's having fun. Da, da, da. Ian, Ian's not moving the lines.
No.
And there's 3 people on the stern, and Captain Sandy is now sending the 4th person, Joe, to go help.
Yeah.
What's happening? Can't undock. Cannot do it.
Well, it's just moving slow, and then he's not communicating. Open your mouth, say something. Like say, "Hey, it's gonna take me 30 seconds," or blah blah blah. Captain Sandy's like, Ian, give me something, give me anything, because we've seen that he's been able to undock and
Yes.
dock effectively. We know this is possible, so just say it. So Captain Sandy's not up there thinking, "What is the holdup?" Open your mouth. It's just I'm telling you, I think he clammed up. I think like about halfway through the season, people started
Yeah.
talking about how he's not a great leader. He starts getting feedback. Them questions in them interviews start being like, "So, you think they're gonna fire you?" And I think he's shutting down because
Mhm.
there just doesn't make any sense for you to just get to the point where Captain Sandy's asking you a direct question and you refuse to say something. I think he's just a little scared
Where
for his
now your
position.
team is, like, just going around you and
Mhm.
not and just kind of being like, "Actually, we're just gonna he can be over there, and we're gonna
Yeah.
figure it out on our own."
And
Are you not embarrassed?
honestly, it's doing great for his stock
Yes!
amongst the people because aside from Captain Sandy, nobody's complaining about Ian anymore. Now the complaints are coming out about Joe and his micromanaging style.
Let's fight. I really it's the way I got the ick from Joe when he was like, oh, look at me. I turned down a date with Ellie." First of all, why are you making me be on Ellie's side? Secondly, who the F do you think you are? You are a loser.
Yeah, this is tough. This is tough, man. Joe, his interaction with Gail. Oh man, what did you think about Gail's analysis that
You're a
he
prick.
might that and he might be a little jealous of maybe the
Oh,
attention
Thundercat
that
said that. Thundercat's on fire. It said
yeah,
that.
shout out
Just
to
wanted to
Thundercats in
say.
the chat. Yeah.
But oh my god, yeah, he's so this is the thing, and I did have it in my chat, my notes to ask you. You, you and Ty are
Yeah.
single.
Yeah.
For everyone that doesn't know, Ty is Chappelle's like bestie.
That's my
Uh,
boy.
you and Ty are single. Ty
Okay.
finds is hooking whatever finds a Gale right in Fifi,
Yeah,
and
PB.
yeah, and now what do you do? Are you being a jerk to me?
No, no, even like Ty is married, right? And with
Yes,
kids, beautiful family. And the moment I became friends with Ty, I was like, well, I have to become friends with your wife because I ain't
correct.
going nowhere. So, like, might as well be bestie. So I'm picking her over Ty every day. You know what I'm
Well,
saying? Like,
he is
you've
really
you've
great.
met her. So, you've met PP. She's dope. I'm like, hey,
Yes.
Ty, beat it, scram. But I think that as a friend, you're supposed to embrace that person's relationship because they're not, you shouldn't put them in a position where they feel like they gotta choose or something like that. But I think this is subconscious. I think he doesn't even realize what he's doing because every time they talk to him, he's like, I'm just trying to give her like some tips and so I'm just
Yep.
trying to help out. I'm the second what is the second bosun or
You
whatever.
don't even deserve it. Lead deckhand, loser
Lead
ass.
deckhand,
Get
yeah.
out of here, bro.
Yeah, lead deckhand is like trying to give some feedback. And I think two things are happening at once. I think that he is giving feedback that Gail does not want or need. And so she's kind of like, what are you doing? Why are you
Heavy on the
mansplaining these
need.
things to me?
Yes.
Right. And then at the same time, because he is now giving her the ick, she also is like now she's escalating things too. So these things could be quick conversations, but they're now getting under each other's skin.
And
I think
Aesha said weird stuff, Chappelle, to her when he's like, you know, I didn't like that my boy was standing up for you because then he gets all the blame. Who are you? Who
yeah.
died and made you king?
Then he called her a princess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Call me a princess again. You know what I mean? Like, there's no
Yeah.
way. She does all the work the boys do. Like, what is she doing that's so outrageous that, like, what was he mad about? You're using the wrong size squeegee to do the door.
I don't like the long ones, Sasha. I don't
We
like
know.
them. We're like, I was like, bro, what?
It's giving
Like,
small dick energy. That's what it sounded like to me. I was like, you're just such a lame.
yeah. Like,
Oh
why? Who
my God.
complains about the way you dry a window? It's like I don't like the long stroke. That's just the short strokes. You know, that's all. I
Yeah,
don't like
that's
the
when the girls
longer
are pissed
ones.
at you.
Out here, rabbit season.
Yeah.
You know. Oh,
Oh my god. No, it's just he's insecure because he's not good enough. And CC says it in the chat, right? Nathan would have been a solidly deckhand. So he knows he's not good enough. Captain Sandy been on his ass. And 3, his bestie is being taken away. Because
yeah.
the only relationship Joe actually wants to be in is with Nathan, not with
Yeah,
the
that's his
girl.
boy. That's his boy. He like I like and
I
even
hate men
Joe.
like
I
that.
mean,
Ugh.
even Nathan calls it out though. Nathan's like, "Hey, what do you call him? A dog with 2 dicks? He's
Yep.
never going to seal the deal. He's just here. He's here for a good time, not a long time type situation." He's aware. He's like, "Hey, he's not looking to like solidify anything with these women. He's just here hanging out with his boy and partying." And so from his point of view, Joe is like, yeah, I'm in a situation where I'm supposed to be in charge. I'm trying to give feedback to this girl who's dating my guy, my boy, and and I don't
Mhm.
like the way that they interact sometimes, and blah blah. Like it's getting really personal, it seems, because Gail is picking up on it. But that princess comment seemed like it came out of nowhere.
And why even say that? All she said was, "I don't have the right clothes."
Yeah,
Why? Because the girl you're hooking up with can't figure it out.
and covering up for, like
Yes,
maybe if you spoke up, then we could get
you
our
the
clothes done.
princess.
Yeah, a little bit.
Stupid. Oh my god. See, no. And Nathan, I wish that he would kind of stand up a little and be like, "Chill out,
No,
man."
he ain't got it in him. Yeah, Nathan. Look, that's why. I think Cece said Nathan might have been a solid lead deckhand. I disagree. I don't think he could stand up to the heat. I think Nathan is very good at being like, I'm gonna just stay in my lane and do what I'm doing.
Fair.
When he sees Joe moving weird with the 2 other women, he don't say nothing. He don't ever like everything. He made a couple comments offhand, but he don't ever step in and be like, "Hey, nah, this is bad." And so I don't know. I just think that you kind of have like Tweedledee and Tweedledum and the 2 of them. And
Yes.
so like they just go like, exactly each other until
Two
the
dumb
season is
bitches
over,
saying exactly. Yeah.
basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's no, it's just them together is so stressful. And we haven't even talked about Nathan and Asia being the ultimate girl's girl.
Oh man, my girl Aesha, man. So Nathan gets so drunk. He's having an awful, awful
Yes.
episode. He loses one of his friends to cancer. He gets the text message, and then of course, as we know on Below Deck, they're gonna go out. And so they go out.
Mhm.
He gets drunk, and he starts to take out his drunk attitude on Gail. And
Yep.
Aisha peeps this from the second seat in the van, and she hops over to the third seat to get in the back seat and basically sits on top of him
Yeah,
and says, I just need you to move so that I can get between y'all because I need to make sure that my girl is okay. I said, hey man, that's a real friend. That is a
that's
real
a
friend.
period. And that's what you should be doing, everyone, because
Yeah.
he was so rude. And he's doing okay. It's just like he's doing the typical, oh, I'm sad, so I'm gonna take it out on my partner
Mhm.
thing. And Gail just starts going, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Gail, what? Like, are you all right? Because to me, I was like, that's giving like you've been, dealt with some hurt before. I'll
Yeah.
just leave it at that. Because the way her
Mhm.
face changed and she immediately starts saying, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. And it's like, why are you apologizing? He needs to apologize. And rightfully so, Aesha steps in and is like, get away from her. Because he was like, I just don't care. I don't care. And Aesha was like, what did you say? You don't care
Right.
about her feelings? Immediately. That it's like past the girl's girl. It's just like she's such a good person. I love her, and to have friends like her, oh my god, that's a
Yeah.
blessing.
She's dope because she'll eventually even go and tell Joe, like, "Hey, you need to
Yeah.
talk to your friend because he's going through like this whole situation." We also found out his mom is started cancer treatment as
Yes.
well recently, and so he just comes from a family where they suppress their feelings and they act like everything is okay. I was like, "See, it's in my household. How is he talking about my life like this?" And
All
so
these cancers
yeah,
around you.
what cancers who be having cancer. Yeah. And so I'm like, wow. And so yeah, I was like, wow, this is crazy. And so yeah, Aisha will go and speak up for Joe and tell Joe to go talk to his friend. And Joe and Gail will spend the night basically being there for Nathan. And I hope he feels a lot better because
Yeah.
I've been there. I literally this has
I
happened to
thought of
me.
you, yeah.
Yeah, this has happened to me multiple times
Mhm.
in public, at the bar, the worst news you can get. And I'm just like, I guess I'll take shots and dance through it. Like, what do you really do at that point without lashing out or like trying to make the
Yeah.
whole night about you and your feelings? Been there 1,000 times. I hope that he is feeling better because this was rough.
Yeah, and what was wild is, like, oof, it's what Nathan was like, "And that's part of life, it just happens." Nathan, come on. The
He
ChatGPT
tried.
lines are killing me.
He tried. It's
No, and
hard. It's
it is
hard to
not
come up with
shade.
something to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I'm worse. I'm kind of. I remember, like I've talked about being an educator before, but one of my weaknesses is when students cry in my office.
Mhm.
Because I don't know how to handle tears. I'm more like my family doesn't do tears, and so I'm like, hey, don't you want to be happy? So my goal is now to cheer you up. But sometimes people just want to cry, and sometimes people want to feel, And I'm kind
Mhm.
of like a no, we don't need to hug. Just let me air pat you on the shoulder, like there, like I really don't understand. Like it's hard. It's just hard.
Yep.
And so he was trying his best to be there for his boy, but I'm
Yeah,
again,
I'm not a
and
good yeah, like,
yeah,
make you feel better person either. I'm just like,
I'm a
"Let's fight
I'm gonna
this."
make you feel better. I'm not gonna sit in sadness with you. Like, and that's
Yeah,
why
I'm
I'm
not.
not the guy you call for that. I'm the person who's like, I'm I'm coming out of this slump. Let's go party. I'm like, bet, let's go. So again, Aisha being a better person than us, that's all I can say.
1,000,000%, 'cause I can't. I'm so awkward. It's just it's terrible, and the point is Joe's terrible. Joe
Yeah.
and Ellie should be together for maximum toxic
It would be very toxic,
horror.
but again, Ellie, no disrespect, it would be another situation where she thinks she's better than she is, because she
NFL
can't handle
players
him.
are in her DMs,
She cannot handle Joe. He had her packed up in this season within 3 episodes. It's just
unfortunately.
bring in the big dogs. Who was it? Sunny? Who was it? Like from
No,
that one
mad.
season. Yeah,
Yeah,
Mads. Bring
mad
in
is
Mads.
yeah, her.
Yeah, she's like, she's not worried about them at all.
She's
They
like,
would be
"Gary who? Okay, he likes Daisy,
yeah.
and he still ended up with
And
you
what
at night."
about yeah, exactly. She wouldn't care. There's people on their level. Joe just got Ellie outclassed on that one
Which
on
is
and
like
just like
he's like weak, he's like level 1 F boy, because she
yeah,
immediately ignored him for maybe 1 second, and he's like, "How many kids do you want?"
yeah, yeah. You like you said, Sasha, sometimes it just snaps back in. But I'll give him this. He said, "Oh, I don't really like Scottish girls. I don't know if me and Carrie are gonna work out." But then he saw her and was like, F boy activated. And next thing you know, I mean, he had Ellie and Bree fuming. They were,
Yep.
dare I say it, the City Boys were back, baby.
Yeah, we are, and it's just because the girls are just not equipped correctly. Because this is a little baby city boy, this is
Yeah.
someone I can have in my sleep kinda thing.
City
Nothing's
boy, not a city
interested in him.
man.
Yeah, city boy for real.
Yeah. So do you think Carrie has what it takes to tame the dragon? Because she seems like she's
I
flirting, but
think
it
she's
didn't
just
seem
gonna
like
have too
genuine
much
interest.
fun. The problem with people that like to have too much fun is, like, they get away with it, and they're just kinda, like, it's like a thing in the wind, right? Like it'll
Yeah.
be a thing, and then she won't be hurt, he won't be hurt, but everyone else around is gonna be
Mhm.
affected by the tornado. So I don't think she's gonna put him in his place because she's gonna enjoy it. Does that
Yeah.
make sense? But
Yeah,
maybe
she's
if
along
they
for the
had him for
ride.
more time, it'd be different.
Yeah, because Bree says, and this is where we get this iconic line. I think it'll stand out forever. Is that yeah, he doesn't know how to finish his meals. You know, he starts with the appetizer, moves on to the first course, and then when it's time for dessert, let's see if he's gonna be the one to clean his plate. And I
Yeah,
said, damn, Bree, you kind of ate a little bit with that one, man.
and Joe did it.
He didn't, not yet. You know, Carrie Joe still left to be seen.
Yeah, we probably have what, 2, 3 episodes? Like, damn, we're
Yeah.
only at 14. Yeah, we might go, who knows? But it's just I don't know. I think they're gonna have like a fun flirt mans. I think this is exactly what he wanted, but it wasn't working out because of the Ellie and Bree drama.
Mhm.
So now he finally has someone that's removed from all of that.
Yeah. I mean, until they're not. You think Ellie and Bree aren't going to step in and just like, hey, Carrie, by the way, you know, because we did hear Bree kind of lace Carrie up on some of the drama that she's
Mhm.
been having with Ellie. But you think the two of them are just gonna sit by and let her cook?
Please. Yes, I beg. I beg. I
I don't think
beg.
I don't think they have it in them. I think
Ellie definitely does not.
one of them is gonna be like, hey, let me talk to you real quick, Carrie.
I think Bree's just gonna get him. Like, she's gonna jump him consensually.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. I just know that
I guess
although the
I
right
have to
answer
be the man.
look, Brie is not messing around. She said, "Finish what you started." So I
I
just
get it.
want to know if she's going to be able to fight the urge to go to Carrie and say, "All right, I'm just,
Mhm.
you know, letting you just coming to you woman to woman and letting you know that that man, he's not good for you. You stand down." Like I just know it's coming and I
I
can't wait.
know, it's gonna be so stupid. Like, I just want the girls to let it be and just laugh, point and laugh
Point and
at
laugh.
what a little loser he is. To be like, "Of
Let's see.
course." But they won't. I know
Yeah.
Bree's gonna corner him in the bathroom again, probably, or maybe in his cabin. She's gonna be like, "I
Yeah.
found your shirts, but now take them off." And
Right.
and then Ellie is gonna do the whole I'm too hot for this, blah blah blah. You know, yeah, try to be the fake girl's girl, and then she's gonna attack.
I don't even know if she can fake it because the way she been, like she didn't want to say it, but in this episode, it's clear. I don't think Ellie likes Carrie very much.
No, of course not. She's so insecure.
What did
Oof.
you think about the stripper hill comment?
Why? For the thing is, I will never comment on anyone's outfit because I think Ellie has a great body. She looks
Mhm.
hot. If I had that body, yes, that's exactly how I would dress. But, like, get over it. Someone says
Yeah.
that to you, just, like, laugh it off. I just feel like
Right.
Ellie takes herself and this show way too serious. Like, it's a
Mhm.
show literally about yachties working, bro. Chill
Right.
out.
Like take your job seriously and like and that you would do it well.
Do it. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, like, yeah. She's so worried about the status and how she appears, but she's not actually doing the work to make herself like come off like
Correct.
very good. Um, I thought it was funny because she got offended by the comment about the stripper heels, and I couldn't really make out what the shoe looked like. However,
Yeah, I paused, but I couldn't.
yeah. But the next time they show Ellie, she's literally struggling to walk down the ramp because her heels are so high. I'm thinking, I mean, Carrie kind of made a point, you know, like if you
That's
can't
not
walk down the
stripper
ramp,
heels.
yeah, I mean, they're that
You
high to where
can't
you
walk
can't even
down.
get down the ramp.
It
Like,
happens to the best
in which case I say nice stripper heels, you know, that's okay. Yeah. Ain't nobody
Stripper
judging you
heels
for
are
wearing
the
stripper
glass
heels.
bottoms.
What don't she have clear heels too? We've seen her
She
wear.
does. Yes, yes.
Okay, so I'm like, is these the clear heels? That's what I was
I
like.
mean, I would
Ellie,
also call if it was those ones, yes, I would call them that.
yeah, the clear heels are
The thing is,
listen, clear
girls
heels
walk
are the
without your
stripper
shoes.
heels. But then also, yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's the real ones then took their shoes off. Okay, they got slides in their purse. You know, the real ones got a backup
So
pair.
those
But
are like the smart girls. For us dumb girls, just walk. It's
barefoot, the ghetto, the ghetto.
find a
You know,
boy that'll carry
the
you. It's fine.
the yeah, if you can't get a piggyback ride, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But they're also the metal heels, the metal like the metal like
That is just
heels.
uncomfortable, but I'm old, you know what I mean? Talk
Yeah,
to 20-year-old me, 'cause
right.
I definitely wore the, like, 6-inch Forever 21 heels, that
Yeah,
every girl probably had, and I think I
yeah.
would try the metal heels, but at 33, absolutely not.
You're like, I'm done. I'm good. I'm good. I just want to be
I would look at
comfortable.
and laugh. I would point and laugh.
Right. Because my thing now is I can't fall down. I got to go to work. What if I fall and hurt
I'm
myself?
not getting back up. I'm
Right.
old.
Could be in the hospital because I
I
tried to dress a
coughed
little
the
bit.
other day and threw my back out. How embarrassing.
I cracked a rib laughing. It's like I can't I can't dance around like this. So I don't know. Ellie's a little sensitive. I'll just say that.
Yeah, I just feel like you just got for someone that looks that good, I just feel like you gotta have a little bit of I don't give a F attitude, and she doesn't have that
Mm,
enough for me.
yeah. Hopefully she
Ugh.
gets it.
Stand up, not with the heels. Oh my god. But yeah, I love this comment from Michael. It's a boat. Just ride Joe Little ship and move on.
And move on.
Exactly. Point and laugh, y'all. Point and laugh at him. That's what's funny. And then he'll never feel good. And then he's gonna be, oh, it's fine. It's fine. They'll learn one day. They'll learn one day.
Hmm.
But is there anything else, Chappelle? Oh, well, we haven't seen the proposal yet, so can't wait. I think that's happening soon.
Yeah, it's got to be the next couple episodes if we're going to see it on
Yes.
camera. And I assume that we are going to see it, or she wouldn't
Yeah,
have
we
brought it
saw
up.
it in the preview. So I wonder if it's after the last charter or in
Mm,
between the charters, one of the two. We'll
yeah.
see. But yeah.
Okay. And then, Jono ain't getting fired, but he better not kill nobody with this shrimp allergy. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where we
Can
are.
you imagine he gives you shrimp? First of all, why even do fish?
Yeah. Uh, yeah. Like, you don't have to do this. You don't have to live
Yeah.
like this. I mean, personally, even with me, Sasha, you know me. I wouldn't even complain. I'd be like,
Yeah, I
okay,
wouldn't
take it back.
either. I just
I would
wouldn't
just
eat
take
it.
it back. I
Yeah.
just wouldn't eat. Yeah. But I would still be annoyed, especially if I put it like I
Mhm.
would be annoyed, but I wouldn't
But if you
complain.
paid
But
what, 10,000 to be
my issue
hell,
is
even
more
5,000.
my issue is always cross contamination. It's like
Yeah, I
if I
wouldn't
tell you I
even
don't want shrimp, that's
agreed.
fine, but I'm not ordering anything fried because I don't trust you. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want it fried in the
Exactly.
same grease. I don't eat none of that. Like if I find out the big menu item is shellfish, I'm going completely off the grid. Like I'm getting a
Agreed.
burger or something. Like I
Yep.
just
No,
yeah,
that's for
not for
me
me.
too. For me, even when people make omelets, I'm like, "Oh, it's the same pan, it's over." Like, I'm no, because 'cause you're making ham in that pan. I
Yeah,
can't do
exactly.
it. Not for me. So, no, yeah, same. I think I would say I'm kosher in that, like, I would want my meals, to be separately made.
Yeah. It's
But
like
it
if
is
I can't
what it
if
is.
you're gonna do that, then I can't eat here.
Yeah, and it's like, "Okay, then do Uber Eats for me." Like, I don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's embarrassing, but next time on it's gonna be fun. I know we have some Ellie Carrie drama. I think there was some deckhands drama as well. So listen,
Mhm.
we're in for a treat for these last few episodes. I'm excited.
Me too, and I'm so happy to have you back. Sasha, this has been fun.
Happy to be
Never
back.
leave me again, friend.
I know. Oh my god, I miss you. I miss the peanut gallery, but we're back. We're back, baby. Back together.
Mhm.
Oof. But yes, if there's nothing else from this episode, I think that's it, y'all. Thank you for hanging out with us, of course. And listen, like the YouTube video. And if you're listening
Yes.
to us on the Below Deck RHAPup feed, come on over to YouTube. I think we're more fun on video. I don't know.
I think so. It's a good
Yeah.
time.
But listen, tell Chappelle he did a great job these last 3 weeks. Tell him he killed it.
Yes.
He did. And with that, Chappelle, where can the people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Recap Kickback. This is where I tweet about my podcast that I do here on YouTube, youtube.com/@ recap kickback. Sasha and I will be releasing some content over there soon now that she's back from her vacay.
Yes.
But also Mari and I are on there every week bringing content. This week we have Tyrone on again to talk about The Deliverance, the number one movie
Ooh.
on Netflix. the black horror movie starring a bunch of black folks and Glenn Close for some reason.
And
And
Alberta,
so
everyone knows in Alberta.
everybody knows in Alberta. And so if you want to hear our opinions about Alberta, make sure you subscribe to Recap Kickback. That podcast will drop this week, Thursday. So make sure you subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube page, youtube.com/@RecapKickback. And then check out the Nothing But Netflix podcast to keep up with Rob and I talk about Netflix shows. And check out Puya and I's coverage of Bel Air Season 3, also on Recap Kickback. So check that out and more by subscribing and following Recap Kickback on all social media platforms. What about you, Sasha?
Yes. And of course, I'm back talking mess magnets. So I'm talking pop culture. If something's trending in the world and you want to know why, check out Rob is a website /mess feed. If you want to know why Ice Spice and Cleo are fighting, I actually watched all 6 parts of the TikTok
Oh,
and talked
perfect.
about it.
Because I definitely want to know.
Yes. I mean, I think it's really interesting. So check out why Ice Spice is in trouble for not giving people food on tour and more. So check all of and listen, there was a Duggar wedding. Eat my bread and butter. All right.
Right.
So we had lots of fun over on Mess Magnets. So check that out. And Mike Bloom and I over on We Know Scripted TV are talking to your favorite reality show contestants about their favorite shows. So we just talked to Kelly Wentworth about Grey's Anatomy. And listen, Mike had no idea. He never watched it. So all we did was talk about the funniest plot points.
Yes, that podcast changed my life. I was so excited when I saw it, and We Know Scripted TV. It's got a really great pair with you and Mike.
Yeah, it's been so much fun. So check that out. And for everything else I'm doing, just follow me on Twitter @funsize_04. Thank you everyone for listening. Thank you for being here, Peanut Gallery. We'll see you next week. Bye.